this is Emily with Park Street, and I'm here today with Drew Levinson, the VP of the Trident Division for Breakthru Beverage. Hi, Drew.
Hi.
Thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me, Emily.
All right, now tell us what the Trident Division is.
Trident Division is a strategy we put together a couple of years ago as part of Breakthru. As the group came together, our two old companies into one. We knew we needed a strategy to really help develop and incubate that new emerging craft segment of our business. And we know that there's a lot of opportunity in the craft spirit segment and the emerging spirit segment. And we felt that if we had a strategy that could encompass that across our network, it would be more valuable for us and for our suppliers moving forward.
So, would you say that you're in touch with the leadership of those companies more often?
Oh yes, absolutely. Trident really was built to both be a single-stop shop, if you will, in a larger Breakthru organization, which can be a bit intimidating if you're a smaller supplier. So we wanted to give them kind of a one-stop shop, a place where they could get a lot of the question answered and help them to grow and find their way, both internally in our organization, but also provide feedback for them to grow as a supplier, whether it's in our network or even across the country.
All right, so let's get into what are the most common mistakes that you see that you're always fixing?
There could be a long list here. I think that we run into a lot of brands and a lot of suppliers that have tremendous passion for what they do, and they come from that very passionate side of the business, the creative, the developmental, and they come up with a great package, great juice, great idea, story, and then it kind of stops. And we feel that success today is really defined on multiple characteristics and multiple segments, if you will, that take them to that next level. So coming in not with a clearly defined business strategy, but just a idea for a great brand and great juice is a big problem. A lot of brands out there have great products, great brands, great packaging, and then they don't get to that next level. So we're always looking for strategy, business strategy, things that we can help to segment them and really define them moving forward. I think sometimes they don't have something that connects with them as a brand. They try to be, on paper this brand, but their strategy or their connection with the consumer doesn't match that up. So having something that truly is defining of them as who they are as a brand, whether it's a cocktail strategy or a go-to-market strategy or a cool little marketing technique or an idea that they want to facilitate, we're always looking for that. And then the third thing, and it's kind of this arms race in the craft and emerging spirit segment, is financial backing, coming in underfunded for your aspirations. And I want to be clear about this, because it's not that every brand needs millions and millions of dollars to be successful, but they need enough funding that they can get to the aspirational level they choose to be at. If you're looking to get to a truly national organization, in this day and age, it's quite an expensive proposition. But if you want to own your backyard, own your state, own your region, financially it's not as challenging, but you still need to have enough that you can work successfully in those marketplaces. And that might be putting resources in the market, people that represent your brand, the face of the brand as I like to call it. Those type of things, you need to be able to fund those to get to that level that you have as a brand to aspire to.
Can you think of a pitch that you saw recently that really impressed you, and what it is that they did that was unique?
Yeah, I've seen quite a few lately. It's the nature of the beast right now. We, throughout our organization, probably see we have a national vetting process, and we see about 30 brands a week that are somewhere in our system looking to enter the organization. So there's quite a few. We see all aspects, from the ones that just make you shake your head to some really well thought out and deeply developed programs. And those are the ones we think are more exciting. So for me, it's beyond the bottle, beyond the price, beyond the just simple package, the juice, having great product. What's that next thing? What is the thing that's going to be their connection to the consumer? I think that's extremely important. What's their thought process on how they want to work with us? What's their aspirations for us as a wholesaler, and how can we define that very clearly and make sure that we're aligned on it and that those aspirations are set in stone from the beginning so that we are all working in the same, marching in the same direction, if you will.
Sure.
And so the best pitches I've seen lately have thought about that. They've thought about how they want us to work. They don't come in with ungodly aspirations that just aren't going to work for that brand. They've really thought out the steps to get to where they want to go, and they have a really realistic vision for what that looks like. And then the last piece is that they have put the pieces in place to help support that. So have they put the proper tools into their marketing, their social, their PR, whatever that is? Do they have the bodies, the feet on the street to represent them as a brand and move forward in that direction? So it's a very complex. It's not a 1, 2, 3 turnkey. If it was easy, everyone would be able to do it right now. And there are a lot of steps.
Let's zoom out a little bit. I just want to ask you, what kind of trends or changes are you seeing that are interesting to you, either within the larger category or just in craft?
Wow, I mean, where we've come just in the last 2 years since we've had this Trident Division in place is remarkable. And I look back at, this is our strategy, as I said, to work nationally and consistently with our emerging brands across our network with what we define as kind of a singular support system. Mm-hmm. And the trends that were happening 2 years ago are already evolving and morphing. Yeah. And so it's really tough to get on a quick trend. We're looking for long-term consumer changes, and we've seen obviously that there's this consumer change over the last 8-10 years towards a place or essence of a brand. They're looking for the background, they're looking for the history, they want to know where it's made, they want to know all of these things. Mm-hmm. And that's going to continue whether it's selling coffee or breakfast cereal or selling spirits. I think it's a consumer shift that we've seen that will continue and probably expand even further. And then, for me, I get really excited about categories or brands that are unique in creating, the leader in that category. So whether it's a new, flavor segment that they're trying, or that they're a new kind of packaging. We've seen a lot with, canned cocktails and different, delivery. I call them delivery vessels. So ways of delivering.
I like that.
Ways of delivering beverages to the consumer, and then therefore the consumption is different. So I think those trends are going to continue to evolve and get stronger, and as the consumers are more open to untraditional ways of consuming their beverage, we're going to see quite a bit more of that. But it's hard to just say we're the next vodka, tequila, whiskey, whatever the category is that you're jumping into. You need a lot more differentiation to be successful. Whereas if you're a new segment or a new flavor and you're leading that category, I think the opportunities could be really strong for you.
Yeah. I know it probably differs a little bit by brand and brand mission, but are there certain channels that you recommend that are easier for so-called emerging brands?
Well, it used to be build the brand in the on, and then the off is how you really get the cases and volume moving. The world is getting turned upside down, as we know. The way the consumers are consuming is different. They're consuming at home, delivered. They're going to parties. Media. They're going, they're being influenced by social media, and the world is changing so much that I think the traditional models are getting less and less important. So, from the standpoint of, is there one channel that's going to be the way to grow a brand? I think that's going to change and continue to change, and what we know now will be very different even 2 years from now.
I think that's a fantastic note to end on.
Right.
Thank you so much, Drew. It was really a pleasure to have you here today.
It's great to be here. Thank you very much.